Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and good evening, everyone. We are doing this program on two fronts. We will do it in English, and then we'll also do it in Somali. The issue that we're discussing today is an issue that touches many immigrant families, and some families more than others. Before we begin, I want to welcome Mahamed, who's part of the Dub TV family. Want to welcome Imam Ahmed, Imam of Masjid Al-Salam here in Edmonton. Mohamed Ali Garad from Garad Society in the background with the hat on, stylish hat. Mr. Qasim Abdul Qadir, who is leading a petition. And lastly, to support Mr. Yussuf Madey Mohamed, who is facing deportation here in Canada. To do a background, we wanted to show a quick video. This case is a unique case that has gone for several years, and it keeps coming back, and somehow it seems that the Canadian government is really hard on Mr. Yussuf. barnaamijkan waxaan ku samayn doonaa dhinaca Ingiriiska marka hore, kadibna waxaan gelaynaa af Soomaali. Yussuf af Soomaali ku wareysanaynaa. Qodobadan ka hadlayna waxaa kamid ah musaafirinta ama tarxiilka Yussuf ay soo diyaarisay dowladda Canada, asagii oo sharcigiisii raadinayay muddo dheer, reer iyo ilmo meesha ku leh shaqeeya. Marka arrintaas aan rabnaa inaan maanta ka hadalno. Intaanan gelin waxaan rabnaa inaan fiirino waraysi gaab oo 5 sano meelahaas ka hor la qabtay oo laga hadlayay markii hore oo la rabay in la masaafuriyo oo haddana hakad la geliyo. Marka videogas baan hadda shidaynaa.
Tonight could be the last night this family spends together.
Don't take my husband. I can't live without him.
I feel upset, sad. Without him, our lives will be kind of a struggle.
Holding signs that say, "We can't live without Dad. Please help our dad." This Edmonton family is making a desperate plea to keep their family from falling apart.
They can't separate family. They bring family together, but they don't separate them.
I don't want my kids to go through any kind of hardship. We already went through enough. Enough is enough.
Yussuf Mohamed came to Canada for a better life. He worked hard, supporting his wife and 4 kids. But now he's facing deportation back to a country he's not even from. Mohamed is a Somalian refugee. He fled that country in 1994 to a refugee camp in Kenya. He lived there for 20 years before coming to Canada in 2013 with an illegal passport. Somalian community members say forged documentations are easy to buy as bread in Kenya.
And the only reason that he got this kind of documentation is to travel around safely from the camp and other places.
His family fears for his life when back in Kenya.
They will automatically put him in jail. And God knows how long.
A petition has been launched asking Canadian authorities to halt the deportation order until Mohamed's sponsorship application is complete. For the Somalian community, they are doing whatever they can to support this family.
Send somebody to a harm place, destroying family unity. It is against all the international laws.
Mohamed's wife, who hasn't slept in days, says if they have to deport her husband, to deport them all and back to their home country of Somalia. Mohamed's flight leaves at 5 p.m. Monday. In Edmonton, Rochelle Sufi, City News.
And really, Qasim, welcome. Really looking at that video again brings back sort of the challenging memory that it took until the 11th hour to stop him from being deported 5 years ago. And it's almost 5 years ago to the week. It was the last week of May, first week of June, 2018. And we're here again 5 years later. But if you can kind of, before we get into why we're here again, if you can, Qasim, welcome, if you can go over why did you create the petition? Because we're here advocating not only Yussuf stay, but you started a petition. Why did you start the petition? Can you go over the petition, please?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having us again and covering this story. It's obviously very important, and it means a lot to the people in the community and the people who know Yussuf. I'll just say myself how I met Yussuf. I also attended Masjid Salam, which the Imam is here from, and that's initially where I got to know Yussuf very well. I ended up helping out with some activities and organizing at the masjid. And what I saw of Yussuf was that he was, one, a great family man, very close children at the mosque, very well connected. And it seemed that everybody in the community knew him, and people would be coming to him with issues. And I saw somebody who was eager to help people. And even me, myself, when I have a young growing family, he would come to me and, before me asking or saying I have any issues, he'd come to me and see how I was doing. He'd give me advice, some guidance, and, just somebody who's very open and helpful, and, just somebody you'd want in every community. And even on the behalf of the mosque itself, he was the type of person that, he wouldn't wait when COVID was happening and all these financial struggles the mosque was going through. He wouldn't wait to hear from, board members and people there that we were in trouble. He'd be coming and asking, hey, what's going on? What's the situation? How can I help? Before he even knew there was an issue, he's asking, how can I help? So with somebody like that, I mean, it's obvious that, you get very close to them very easily, and you want them around. And when we heard that this situation arose back again, it just affected everybody. Everybody kind of was, got a bit of a blow. Everybody was shocked. It was our understanding that, this had been addressed and was resolved, and hopefully going to be, this case would be closed. As you said, it's been 5 years almost to the day, and it's almost like they've brought us back to step one. So I'm not a lawyer, and, I'm just another member of the community. So I thought, what can we do and how can we help? I thought, listen, this is somebody who, his story would touch a lot of people, whether they know him or not. And I thought starting a petition and spreading it around and showing support, showing the government, showing the Canadian Border Service Agency that, hey, this is somebody that we want in our community. This is somebody that deserves to be here. And it would be a real travesty. It would be very damaging to a family, a community, and, to Edmonton at large. So
Thank you very much. So my question, if I can take advantage of the time, this is the petition that you started on change.org. Mm-hmm. What do you hope to gain from the petition? Why is the petition an important step to take?
So this was actually part of consulting with a few agencies here and the lawyer that Yussuf is dealing with, in that our goal is to build a case to show the government that, this is a person that, we won't stand for him being deported. We don't want him to leave, and he deserves to stay. So this is a great way for, it's a click of a button and, maybe making a quick comment and to share the link. It's a very simple and easy way, but if we come together collectively and really raise this profile and raise this number, right now it's at 23,000, and I'm honestly, I was touched to see how much this story has affected people and it's spread, but we wanted to get above 50,000 if possible. We want this story to go even higher. We want to make it so that this can't be ignored. This story can't be ignored. And this is a great tool. We're working on other avenues, but this itself is one great tool to bring forward.
And who do you need to sign the petition? Do you need people that live in the same city in Edmonton, Canada? Do you need somebody Canada-wide? Do you need people across the world? Who do you need to sign this petition?
The goal, I would say, is any and everyone would be the goal, but Canadian citizens, number one. That, we have, there's a tool in there to see which country people are signing from, and it's amazing. The international support is amazing, and we want even more of it. But Canadians, especially, we would really love to see their support to come together and really make a stance here.
Very good. Thank you. Yassine, if I can come back to you. You were in that clip that we saw earlier just now. You were in that clip as well. And here we are again 5 years later. 5 years ago, you were the head of Oscar, a nonprofit organization here in Edmonton. Can you give us a background? What was going on 5 years ago and how do you see the case today?
Thank you again, and I appreciate everybody who is putting this effort right now. 5 years ago, to be honest with you, 5 years ago, almost today, was that time. Except it was Sunday. Yussuf and his family contacted me and Somali community elders. The issue was Yussuf was going to be deported by Monday. It was Saturday when they came to me. So we spent 2 days basically at the office, try to gather information, inform people, contact the media, and see how we can help him to how to stop his deportation. We heard his case, and I think at that time he was here, if I'm not wrong, 4 or 5 years before that. Yussuf was somebody that the whole community respect. What surprised me the most is at the office, almost there was no place to sit. And we normally, it's like 40 or 50 people can sit in normally at the office. Everywhere at our Oscar office was full. Was the community that was mourning with him, was saddened about the news. So fortunately, we raised enough attention. Then the minister of Mr. Sohi and the MP and others help us. We put it together. We talked to the media. We put it together. Very good defense. And they, as far as I was concerned, the case was stopped for the last minute. Yussuf has his bag ready to go to the airport by 2 o'clock. And he was at the office. By 1:30, we get a phone call saying that deportation has been canceled, so he doesn't have to go. Literally, he was ready to leave. So that was where we were before. Right now,
can you tell us the emotions involved when you're literally at the 11th hour? Yussuf has his bag ready. People are ready to drive him to the airport if need be, and then the last minute you get this reprieve, if you will. What was the emotion like? What was the community?
To be honest with you, the people that I still don't forget, Yussuf had 2 kids with him at the time, 2 young ones, and his daughter was a little bit elder. I think her name was Asha, if I remember correctly. And they were non-stop crying. Yussuf's wife was same thing, was very emotional. Yussuf was saying that basically whatever happens will happen because it's the will of God. And he was very calm but emotional. Everybody around us was basically didn't know what to do. Okay, we were all helpless. I was on the phone consistently. So when they said you're not going anywhere, still his daughter and kids did not believe that, because they didn't want him to let him go. Yeah. They did not believe that he's not leaving. So that's how traumatizing everybody was. And to put that family through again what I have seen it's cruel and inhumane. And the Canadian government, we expect better than this. We proved that. They asked us to prove if he's Somali. We proved, because we had collected over 40 people who was at the same camp that he was in
the same refugee camp. Same
refugee camp. We documented. We write their names. We wrote everybody's name, their birthdays, and everywhere where they were. There was a lady named Nino who was the head of that area, the Dadaab area, refugee camp. We have Guled. We have his refugee ID, and I just posted. This is his refugee ID. He showed us this is who he is. This is where he came from. And to say that he's not Somali was a mind-boggling. So we collected everybody. We show all the documentations. We told them that this is who he is. And on top of that, when we provide all this information saying that he's not Kenyan. This is the proof that you need. He's a Somali. They say that, okay, we will review his case. We will review his case, and we will let you know, and there's nothing to be worried about it. He's not going to go anywhere. So as far as I was concerned, we won at the time.
So I think I'm going to transition. We'll come back to you, Yussuf. Imam Ahmed, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. So fast forward, 2018, Yassine just discussed, and we saw in that video, sort of 11th hour reprieve. Fast forward last year, 2022, if I'm not mistaken. Again, Yussuf has been called by the immigration. He goes to the office. In that time, they call him again, discussing that he may end up being deported again. Is Yussuf a common criminal? What is going on? Why does he keep red flagging that he has to be deported? Is he a criminal? Is this someone who you're the imam, you're one of the leaders of the community, you can speak to the qualities of members of the community. What is Yussuf like? Is he a criminal? Is there a reason that the Canadian government should fear him, to deport him and separate him from his family?
I think this is from one of the protocols that CBSA has. Anyone that they deem is not suitable to stay in Canada, they have them check in regularly. And then from time to time, they call you in for a meeting. And we know that those meetings end up, they make you sign papers, and they try to have your removal, they issue a removal order, and then they try to, sometimes they will detain you, or sometimes they will let you go and tell you to come in more frequently to sign those, check in with them more frequently than you usually accustomed to. And then, they give you a removal date. And this is what happened to Mr. Mohamed recently. And now they are trying to remove him again from Canada. But this time, he did not, like usually he doesn't, this time they tried to, again, make him sign papers. He refused. Alhamdulillah, they let him go. And they told him that your removal date is set for June 19th. So this was this meeting that he had with them happened last week, which was.
If I can apologize, interrupt you. You're saying his most previous meeting with them, they told him that his deportation date is set. Is that right?
Set. Yes, for June 19th.
For June 19th, and they told him this on when?
On June 1st.
So they're giving him a 2-week notice.
2-week notice, yes.
Okay, continue. Sorry.
So we scrambled once we heard that now he has a removal order issued. We scrambled and we ended up, calling the likes of Ahmed Yassine, speaking to MPs, trying to get this petition even let people sign it even further. We anticipated, like, if you could see the petition date. The petition date says that. It was created on May 26th, which was not this Friday, but the previous Friday. And we did that because we anticipated that this was going to happen, because we already knew that the meeting was coming. I think they let him know in May that he had a meeting in June. So we already knew once they called you in. We just had to strategize from there. And the petition, that's why it came a lot earlier than the official meeting that he had with the CBSA. So we went to offices and trying to let them know. Hopefully they give us a word back by Wednesday, letting us know how they have the strides that they have made with regards to make him stay in Canada. But it's not enough just to, and I was telling Mr. Mohamed and the likes that it's not enough and it's not sufficient that we just get this removal order removed. By now he should be issued residency in Canada. Mm-hmm. Removing this order will just maybe make amends for the meantime, but again, maybe we may be sitting here again, and God forbid, a few years from now, discussing another removal order. And alhamdulillah, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to prevent that from happening.
It was mentioned earlier that the question of is he from Somalia, is he from Kenya, and that the documentation was proven coming from the immigration office in Somalia and also the embassy of Somalia, that Mr. Yussuf Madey is a Somali citizen or somebody who has fled Somalia and not a Kenyan citizen. Does that seem to not have an impact with his case when you discuss it with the attorney?
Yeah, I don't think that because prior to this meeting that we had last week, there was one that happened in late 2022, which was, I believe it was in the month of October. We submitted, it was in May, or I can't remember which month it was in, but it happened in 2022. We submitted these documents and to verify that he is ethnically from Somalia, and he was born in Somalia and he's a Somali citizen. And then they said, okay, give us time to review these documents. So it looks like, again, we're sitting. They had plenty of time to review those documents, but again, they came to the conclusion that he's not Somali, and they want to once again deport him from Canada. But since I have known Mr. Mohamed, I have known him since late 2019, since I became the Imam of Masjid Salam, and usually I'm careful to who I endorse. I don't endorse anyone. I make sure that I have known the person at least for quite some time in order for me to give him his endorsement. And wallahi, Mr. Mohamed is one of those individuals that, subhanAllah, has surprised me since I've been an imam at this masjid. From the countless people that he has helped and that he has found employment for them, changed their lives for the better. And I'm talking about whether they're Somali or whether they're not Somali. Sure. The individuals that he has helped within the community, and the way he strives and the way he comes to me, letting me know that there's a person that is part of this masjid of ours that needs urgent help, and he will within maybe a few days you will see him trying to sort out that person's life. So without a shadow of a doubt, he will make a big impact. And I let the MPs know when I met with them, when I met with those that work in their offices, and I let them know, I was like, Canada wants to bring 500,000 refugees or 500,000 immigrants, in the next 3 years, yearly. This is an annual amount that they want to bring into Canada. And I let them know that you're going to probably, majority of these people that they're going to be bringing people that don't have ties to Canada. Mm-hmm. This is a man that has 5 children and a wife that's all Canadian citizens. So let's put that into perspective. This is a man.
No, thank you very much. I want to go back real quickly to Qasim. There was a question asked by some of the viewers. Can someone in another city in Canada sign the petition? Do they have to be a Canadian citizen? Can they be somebody who is permanent resident? Can they be a Canadian citizen or permanent resident who's currently overseas? What are the restrictions, if you will, on who should sign the petition?
Yes, thank you. So the petition can be signed anywhere, internationally as well, but it's where you sign it. It's where you are designating yourself. So Toronto, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Vancouver, it doesn't matter. We've designated it as a countrywide target or countrywide appeal.
So a Canadian person,
yes, a Canadian person or a person,
resident or citizen.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't think it asks for your country status, your status as a how you are. It's just where you are. So if you're in Canada or you're from Canada, I don't see an issue with that. Yeah.
Very good, very good. And one last thing before we switch to the Somali portion, and we ask Mr. Yussuf to essentially give us some of the background and the historical. Yassine, you're familiar with the Imam mentioned that he had visited some of the offices of the political elected officials here in Edmonton. What kind of impact does that have? Does that help sort of break through to the immigration's office? What is the strategy? What do you have to do? What kind of impact does it have? Basically, you can summarize for us.
It's everything. Okay, so for example, when first time was when the deportation was issued for Mohamed, we had what's his name was the minister, Ahmed Hussein, some Somali minister. So we tried to reach him out, and he said to us, "Hey, I cannot do anything unless the MPs of your area is requesting something from me. Otherwise, I cannot do direct interference." So we bombarded all the MPs in the city. Some was very receptive, some were not at all. So even though Yussuf Mohamed was in Clearview area, we went all the way Millwood MP, which is Minister Sohi, who was the MP as well as the minister, to take our case. At the same time, while we were dealing with the actual constituency, the MP, I think it was Said Ahmed, I think he still is. But at the time, he was not receptive. So, but Sohi's office helped us. They pushed this thing. They went through the immigration. They went to the immigration office. Then it went straight to the minister's office. So the minister's office, when that order reached, the minister interfered. So similar thing is possible. And this kind of deportation, a halting deportation, is common thing. So we have to do it. But what I'm going to advise for my brothers who are doing this thing and those who are watching right now is for two things. Number one, you guys have to keep calling everybody, all the elected officials, whether it's local elected officials, as well as even Sohi's office, as well as anyone who's listening to. And then you share both the petition and this video that we are doing it right now will be
and the facts of the case. You share the facts of the case. Yeah,
exactly who he is. Right now, he had at the time 3 kids. Now he has 5 kids, 5 Canadian children, and a mother that who pay taxes. He's been working hard. I know that because I knew what he was doing before. He never collected welfare nor anything. So and you could hear that how he helps the community. So it will be a loss for all of us if this happens, if this deportation happens. Plus, the process of his wife is sponsoring is there. So I don't understand what is going on with this. So for our community and the community leaders has to keep calling and dealing with the talking to the media, talking to everybody. We don't have not much time at all. So I will advise everybody just to do whatever that they could. If you're not a community leader, and you call the MP's office and you just say that so-and-so's case, what's happening? Why are you not helping him? And if they say they don't know, you just give it to them. If 7 people call MP offices, there will be change. Trust me, that's what the strategy that we always use. Sometimes I'm sorry to say it, sometimes I made myself 4 or 5 different person by calling the MP, at least sending the message and using different phones, and just do whatever you got to do to highlight.
So the idea is essentially to cut through, and because these are busy people, they're working for the entire area, to cut through and say this case is very serious and it's an urgent case. So thank you very much. What I'd like to do.
I want to add one more thing.
Yeah.
I know the Imam and Qasim, they met with the MP's assistant, but what I will ask is to request a meeting with the MP as soon as possible. When is going to be available, and you ask him that you need to meet him right away. If they say tomorrow, whatever time they say, we're done. Well, off camera, we can strategize. I'll leave it there.
Very good, very good. That's good. Yeah, strategy session off camera would be perfect. So now what I would like to do is switch the program to Somali. I know Yussuf is functionally able to speak English, but we want to get to the heart of the matter and interview and really get that case for us. for those people who are in the Somali community who are not very versed in English. So, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And Mudane Yussuf Sordo, and waxaan rabnay marka hore barnaamijkiisa hore inaan dul marno case-ka wadada uu soo maray meesha hadda la taagan yahay maxaa la filayaa Imam Ahmed baa hadda inoo caddeeyey inay ku siiyeen maalin maxaa la yidhahdaa lagu dhoofinayo oo ay tahay bisha 19keeda June marka bal inoo waran case-kii maxaa isbedelay markii ugu dambeysay sanad ka hor waxay ahayd inay heleen waraaqihii dhalashada inaad Soomaali tahay oo caddayn ahayd bal inoo waran sanad ka hor ilaa maanta maxaa isbedelay
والله قولد واحد أنقول لك كرا وحاسة إسبدل
waxaan u malinayaa imaam codkaaga iska fur waa okay
Yussuf raalli oo soo dhow
waa dhowahay waxaan u malinayaa isla wax hadda weyn oo isbedelay ma jirto sponsor istaagu iska yahay wax oo mujida looyarada looyar baan leeyahay looyarkayga mar walba way weydiisaa ani waan la hadlaa waa in process last year October caafimaad baan maray caafimaadka hore iga dhacay marka wuu xayiran yahay maysan diidin oo hadday diidaan mar hore ay jawaab isiin lahayn xitaa waxaan u malaynayaa xaq uma lihi in sponsorka inuu 5 sano 6 sano istaag iska ahaada ayadoo wax caddayn aan lagu siinin way noo yeereen aniga xaaskayga way noo wada yeereen 2 saacadood ay interview naga qaadayeen jasbaray nageeyeen 1 saac ayaday wareysanayeen 1 saacana ay wareysanayeen markii dambe isu keeneen waxay noo caddeeyeen inay nugu qanacsan yihiin qoys ahaantanada wax naga khaldan aysan jirin su'aalihii ayna weydiiyeen oo dhan ay ku qanacsan yihiin haddana markaan fikiri waxaan u maleeyay qolyahan baa mar walba leh kiiskan go'aan kama gaari kartaa ninkaan waddankan ka bixinayna sidaa u baa ani waa nafs ahaantayda sidaa u baa u maleeyay wax kale oo mujida uu ku xayiran yahay ma ogi wax mujida hadda dhib on ku hayana ma jirto weligii dembi ma galin aabaan ahay 5 ciyaal leh ilmahayga welfare ma qaataan iskuullay dhigtaan haddana twitter dhigtaan ilaa 1200 twitter aan ku bixiyaa oo maadooyin gooni ay qaataan marka inay ilmihii oo dhan noloshooda burburiyaan oo dib mujida culays ayaga isaan oo welfare ku celiyaan oo mujida wax faa'iido ka soo galaysa ma garanay marka dhibkana ilaa 10 sano u dambeysay waxaan u baan ku jiraa
may horta su'aasha taagan aan ka bilowno horka marka asal waxa uu ah arrintan in ay dawladda leedahay Yussuf niyahow waxaa tahay muwaadin Kenyaati ah adigana waxaad leedahay may aniga waxaan ahay muwaadin Soomaali ah bal ma noocadee ma Kenyaati baa tahay mise Soomaali
may ani Soomaali baan ahay Kenya waan ku noolaa qaxootinimo ugu noolaa aan lacag baan ku soo qaatay waa la iisu sameeyey ma garanaysaa waa u sheegay ani iska dhaf ayaga hadda jooga hadday Kenya tagaan oo lacagta bixiyaan awto kale way soo helayaan way og yihiin marka Soomaalinimadeeda waan soo cadeeyay yacni intay dhihi lahaayeen ma garanay waa ku qanacnay iyo kuma qanacnay saan ku soo helaan bahay Soomaalinimo waaba u dhashay saan ku soo helayaan waa u dhashay baa wuxuu u dhashay soo helayaan ma jirto marka wax walba oo mujida aan isku cadeyn karo waa isku cadeey laakiin weli kuma aysan qacan marka dibka meesha jir waa in Soomaalinimadayda
hadda waxaa inoo muuqda waraaqihii ay maxaa la yidhaahdaa labada waraaq ay soo direen midna ay ka timid safaaradda Mareykanka safaaradda Soomaaliya ee Mareykanka midna ay ka timid xafiiska immigration ee Soomaaliya labada ay caddeynayaan inaad tahay muwaadin Soomaali ah waraaqdaasi waan xasuustaa sanad ka hor loo gudbinayay kuwa immigrationka Canada waraaqdaas la gudbiyey oo ka jawaabaysa iyo marka lagu daro aqoonsigii ay ku qaadatay qaxootinimo oo kulli saddexdaba ay leeyihiin shakhsigan waa shakhsi muwaadin Soomaaliyeed dawladda Canada war miyay ka soo celisay oo miyay tiri waraaqahani waa been abuur
may weli wax noocaas ay ma soo gaarin marka caddeey intaas waxaa dheer ilaa dhowr community warqado qoray aan la shaqayn jiray 6 sano u dambeysay aan la shaqayn jiray Soomaalinimadeeda dadkii dhalashadayda ogaaba dhaartay oo warqado qoray waxa soo dhan immigration ku haystaan weli laakiin waxaan kuma qancin iyo waa been maysan dhig
marka sababta waxaan dib u soo laabanayaa marka case-kii haddaan dib u laabano ka bilaabo 5 sano ka hor oo la rabay in waddanka laga saaro community-gii bulshadii Axmed Yaasiin dadkan hadda fadhiyo baa dagaalamay kadib dagaalkii waxaa lagu guulaystay in dib loo dhigo dhoofintaadii intii keiska maxaa la yidhahdaa keiska go-aan laga gaaray keiskaagii ahaa inaad waddanka joogi kartid kadib sanad ka hor bay soo laabteen oo leeyihiin haddana keiskii baa la bilaabayaa haddana waxaad leedahay bisha May baad u tagtay bil ka hor haddana kow ay kasoo bilaabeen marka maxaa meesha ka maqan oo dabcan macluumaad kale raadinayaan oo ilaa hadda la yihiin
wallahi guuleed wax meesha ku jira ma garanay sababtoo ah taariikh kow June markay la kulmaayeen hadda ay deportationkan ay cadaynayeen waxaan failka oo dhan miisku u saaraa way haysteen yacni waxay ilaahayeen warqadahan see kusoo samaystay waxaan ku dhahay waxaan weydiiyey warqadahan sidaan kusoo samaystay isaan ku hel iska dhaaf warqadaha waa documenti fake amayaa leedihiin maya arrintaas kumaan dhihin bay dhaheen marka way ay ii weydiinaysaan isaan kusoo samaystay adigaaba waxaa ilahayd Soomaali ma tihide Soomaalinimadayda inaan caddeeyo baad iga rabtay haddana see kusoo heshaa ilaadaan ku dhahay marka
waayahay xagee ku dhalatay horta niyo
aniga waxaan ku dhashay baar dheer
marka reerkaagii walaalaha iyo aabiyo hooyo ma nool yihiin haddii kale aal naxariisto bal familiga xagee bay joogaan
hooyo way dhimatay laakiin familigii qaar gobolka gaday degan yihiin walaalahii laba waxay degan yihiin xamar aabba weli Soomaaliya ku dambeeya marka waxa Kenya iga joogaba male wax un qaxootiga ehel ku jira ma ahane wax hadda Kenya iga jooga oo ila dhasho walaalahay ama jiraan
ما أحمد ياسين سؤال بان كاوي ديريا أدينا وأدينا لا شقي يوسف إمام يقاسم وأن كسر الله ونيا إن كيس كانوا كله أدينا مدة كتيرتي وحي هذا community activism أو بشدة بالارن الصومالي أفريقيا بالإسرائيل كتيرتي كان كيس نوع يسوع كلا ما أعرف تلاها
ها كيسس كان عادي نوع لكن كيس كان يونيك وقوها أنا last minute بان أركي oo ka duwanaa kuwii horeeto waxaan kaleeto uu kaga duwanaa casekan kuwa kaleeto dadka iyagoo loo dhahayo waa la idin kaxeynayaa oo leeyahay haddii qofkan inuu Soomaali yahay soo cadeeya ayaa waraaqano loo keeni jiray ama markaas inta noo yimaadaan kadib warqada aan qoro jirnay ninkan waa Soomaali waa saay families waan naqaana so at least 100 waraaqood oo noocaas waan qornay dad meelo kala duwan oo ama Winnipeg jooga ama jooga Toronto meelo walba nooga iman jireen laakiin isaga waxa weeye passport Kenya ay ku soo baxay an kaas ayaa ka duwanaada waxyaabo badan ka duwana dadka kale to iyaga oo lugeynaya ama iyaga oo sharci meel kale sharcigooda la haynin bay ayay dhiibi jireen laakiin aniga hadda message-kan intaan ka faa'iideysto inta aan iga qaadin waxaan rabaa in aan shacabka Soomaaliyeed meel walba joogaan aan ku iraahdo waxaan af Ingiriis ku dhahay oo gaaban in ay la garab istaago petition-ka qofka ugu horeeyo saxiixo petition-ka markay saxiixaan petition-ka linkigiisana hoos buu ku jiraa halkan qof walbana wuu heli karaa chat-ka ku jira hala saxiixo hala waco mataqaanaa MB-yada iyo dad kala midka immigrationka hal garab istaago haddii sida ugu dhaqsaha badan wax loo sameyn waayo oo weekend soo socda week waxba noqma asna bisha hadda waa 10 bisha marka la gaaro haddii jawaab la heli waayo waa in banaanbaxyo iyo mudaharaadyada la sameeyo oo codka kor loo qaado media la gaarsiiyo ilaa waa 2 cisho ka badan oo kaleeto oo la siin karo arrintan ma jirto imaamka kulli salaada jimcaha markaad tujinaysid inaad dee waqti siisid oo haddaad mar horena waana hubaa inaad siisay imagine haddii kaleetana inaad bilowdid inaad siisid so intaasaan uga baxayaa because caseskan waa caadi haddii noise la sameeyo waynay waxbaa isbedelaya haddii la garab istaago waxbaa isbedelaya media iyo social media video kala qadarto normally anaga ma dhahano share gareeyo videoyaasha but kan waxaan dhahaynaa share gareeyo as much as possible dadka arkaan warkan meel walba ha gaaro especially dad Canada jooga marka waa maasan
qaasim su'aal baan ku weydiinayaa and we'll do in English or Somali adiga waxaad comfortable ku tahay yaa kugula taliyay and in that petition, what is the, was there an advice, a level of advice that encouraged you to do the petition? Did you assess how the petition can work?
Yes, so Ralio, I'm going to answer in English, but yes, we were advised by the lawyer, and there's a few groups here in Edmonton that are advising us as well, that this would be a tool, a powerful tool to show the government, to show the MPs, and to show the ministers that we're standing behind Yussuf, and that this is an unacceptable result that it's come to, and that we need to get this resolved. So we were advised that it was powerful. The goal was to, just get as many signatures as possible. Our initial goal was closer to 8,000, and we've surpassed that, and now we're seeing the reach of this platform. Where we're now aiming to get to 50,000 signatures. We're at 23,000 now. We've gotten massive support already. May Allah reward everybody who's done it. This is a great help, and we're hoping to get to 50,000 inshallah. That's the goal.
Thank you, Qasim. Imam, سؤال كويديو. كيس كان طبعا مربط أخرى عليه حفيزك. lawyer kala hadashiin kala ma aqaan. Lawyeradda maxay leedahay? Lawyer hadduu leeyahay ninka maxay leeyihiin? dabcan maxaa loo baahan yahay si loogu hor istaago musaafiriintan ay soo wadaan?
wallahi looyarada dee anigu nagu dhex gabanaysaa runtii haddii kuu sheego jumcadii alla hadlay waa u sheegay wixii qabanay dee war hadeer maka heno war managu soo celinin so ani maxaas leeyahay dee dhaqdhaqaaqeeni iyo albaabaha anaka garaaceena iyo petitionkan anaga ka awood badan hadeer
صح
kugu dara guuleedo hal wax lawyer-adan same thing last time waxay nagu taaday case-kan waxba kama qaban karo. She just washed her hand markii anaga aan bushgareynay, and she said that waa la dibor gareynaya, or sorry ina taas inaan ku daran doonay about the lawyer. So awoodda anaga haysana inta ka badanta lawyer-ka, laakiin legal advice mana siin karaya.
صح 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 marka waraaq ahaan maxaa loo baahan yahay? Yuusuf haddaan kugu laabto, markay ku siiyeen date-ka 19 bisha 6 June ayaa waddanka kugu dambaysa, ma yiraahdeen haddaad keentid waraaqdaas ama haddaad keentid waxaan oo kale waad joogaysaa oo lagu musaafirinayo, mase waxay leeyihiin ilaa waa socotaa?
maya wallahi waxay u dhaheen markay warqadda kadib haddana way u soo noqdeen warqad kale ii keeneen, waxay dhaheen bishii waxaan siixi jiray hal mar aan tegi jiray, waxay dhaheen hadda waxaa haystaa wax emergency ku jirta, marka every Thursday waa inaad siixdaa oo imaadaa. marka waxaan ku dhahay marba hadda June 19 iqaadaysa maxaa micno soo kordhin inaan khamiis walba idin imaado oon siix. marka imaamka xitaa waa maqlaya, waxay dhaheen 2018 community-gaaga uu dagaalamay, marka way naga weyn gareeyeen. haddana we know inay dagaalamayaan, maybe inaan annaga weyn gareyno, maybe inay ayaga weyn gareeyaan.
haddaan English ku sheegi karo, and I asked Yussuf what was the expectation when you went last time, the most previous visit in June 1, and did they ask you for additional documentation? Did they ask him if he supplied additional documentation that he will not be deported? What he said was in 2018, the case as it was going, you were going to be deported, we were going to win, but your community caused enough of a stir, enough of noise that we have to back off. So that tells you that this issue is not a procedural issue, but it's an issue somehow, and I hate to say it this way, but that somebody in that office has it for Yussuf. This is a father of 5. So Yussuf Allah ma ka dhex kale kaliya waxaan rabay qodobkaas hadda taabatay inaan Ingiriiska ku faafino, waayo waa aad muhiim u tahay inay yiraahdaan waa naga guulaysateen, haddana inaan kaa guulaysanaan filaynaa. marka sii wad raadaho.
marka waxay dhaheen community-gaaga way dagaalameen, waa naga weyn garayseen, haddaa sidii 2018-ka u weyn garaysaan waxaan emergency-gan 2 week bas ku jiraysaa, meeshaada hore lagugu celinayaa oo every Thursday ma siixaysid. sheekha weydii wuxuu dhahay maxaan ku weyn garan karnaa? dhahay sheekha weydii oo markaa ila jooga wuxuu dhahay maxaan ku maybe inay Kenya dhahdo ninkan nal soo sasmayni sheekh
So Hedahan, what they said wasn't Hedahan.
You can do English better.
ما هدر كينيا أنا قبل قادة إني سين دونان كان شرع كبح وطنك. So أنا ما حدا.
طبعا يوسف وبابا هيستد باسبور يشرع كبح للسماء.
أنا باسبور كي مرة رودا مرة البنين أوصي حوادي دنا.
كي كينياتي ها وسمي ستيسا وصل بحديد حلوين كحوتي واجي هاي. كاسي ودعي ها دولة كينيا يا حدا وحيلها هاي باسبور بان أصلاً ناس أصله مسافة الإمام
travel document
travel document شرعي وكسب وطنك أنا حدا أوكي خلاص أنا I told them أنا وحنا كقرية I told them straight up that والله هذا اللي دونا and we will be stopping that any ما قدرت any كلابتان that travel document or issue طبعا any issue جريان هاي سمية do what you gotta do runtii ahaan yani mankan haddeer oo la kulmay way ka fiicnaayeen nimankii hore oo la kulmay yani ma garatay Yussuf so dadkan xoogaa yani we know ma garatay anakii noo gurmanaayeen yani maxay rabeen in anakan caawiyaan صراحة yani wix sameeya saan talabay nasiinaayeen
سؤال هنا كان ويدي عفوا ياسين أنا كده حكالي بل عرورتي يجورن عرورتي وحدمو دائما كتيران نحدينتي شانسنا كور هذا دب الجسر عليه أبوه وضن كلا صاريو عرورتهم عرور كنديسة وضن كلا مية قاينان نور كلا مية قاينان بل يجورن عرورتي يدرين كودي يسري حد يجين
والله عرفت درين كودا أدقي هاي حتى سكول كإني آذان ويدين قارقود ما أنت بريه كوبي أنا سكول كان قاضي إلا موجودة مالك الإيري إلا قارقود سكول كويدين كوي وينا وكلام آذين ماني والبي إلى السعودين وميل والبي راعي ساكا أود بيس قبل يدي سكول ميسن آذ وإلى السعودين حفظنا تقدرون ويتجن من مصر حدا أيجا ولا بحر بدن يعني وحي درينا يعني إن أبوه لقوا ضايو أو وهالكودي ها صاحب كودا أبوه ضفا واحد بدن في درينا يعني
سيف عن وقت جيبه هذا قبل نوع مركا إمام يقاسم يوسف وهنتي سؤالش ينظم بيس هذا وحوي petition كي وان سكودينا petition كي أنا ملو بقاسينه والله سيحو والله بديو إن شاء الله وكنت كأكون أمر نفسيه محاكو وقرشاه معلمها عنده بنبح مي على دارنا يا بل تلاقوين ككولا وصدق معلمها عنده الله سمعني النوشة مثلا يوسف كبلونه كذب قاسم ان كذب إمام
والله ولي هذا بنبح أسبوع أن كمان نقارن دور حفيز وإنبيبا وتغني إلا وضبين ثلاثة وبيختين نوقبتين إني جواب مسوسين دونا مركان جواب تاسلنا وحن كنت الشني وقاء قادني إن مركز قادنه
صح
جواب بريمير
أوكي
ان وحان إلو وينين أضيع وقلال فردية محمد علي أدعو ما سنتهي وانا داولي
الحمد لله
مركو حائزي إيمان حبط الإيمان كي يقول عيش مركو سورد
ما سنتين واقع يعني أنت لبست لبست أنا لا شيء واصح
صح محاقل بون كبون ان رالي وكبو الحين كرتا وربحنت
والله اني هورت سيدا arrinta aan kala horta inba soo marin laakiin waxyaalaha aan la yaabay baa jirta wuxuu yahay qofka sharciga oo intaas familkiisa uu joogo aan loo inta la sponsoray waddanka jooga la sponsoray aan la dhihin sponsorkaaga waa lagu diiday ama waa lagu yeelay deportation loo keenayo أنا this is waxaan la yaabanahay wey why waa qofka dad baa sponsoray responsibility si qaaday okay hadday taas ay soconayn imaam community jooga imaamadii baa jooga dadkii Soomaaliyeed baa jooga oo hadduu u helayo support waa loo taagan yahay haddii la yiraahdo dhaqaale u baahan yahay oo loo diyaarin karayo marka aniguna kamaan requirement-ga ninkaan ku celinaya baan fahmin waa ay ugu celinayaan ninkaan Soomaali waaya basically
صح صح سفيعا marka hadda meeshaan u gudubnay waa gabagaba marayna and Imam Ahmed and Qasim what are the steps that the community need to take in the next few days? What are the steps that you have planned second third to signing of the petition? Qasim first, then we'll let the Imam do the wrap up.
Yeah. So as we said, the petition is the first step. Right now, we've done the initial step of reaching out to the MP's offices, and some have been more receptive than other, but they've been now, implying they're going to help. They've said they're going to take these steps. So we need to mobilize the community to reach out to them. As Ahmed mentioned, we need to push them, hold them to their word, and we need to push to not separate a father from their family. So we're going to be reaching out to the MP's office, and we ask the community to do the same, just to show the support, and just build momentum for this.
Okay, very well. Imam?
Guled, I just want to, before the Imam, I just want to do a correction. Yussuf Mohamed ma aha Kenyan. Waxaa arkaya comment la soo qorqoraya xaggan. Kenya ka yimaada no, he's not Kenyan. Waa Somali. Somali ku dhashay, ku koray. haddii mataqaanaa uu Soomaaliya Kenya lagu celiyana isaga oo isku dayay inuu gatay baasaboor sharci darro ah ninkan noloshiisa waa la xiraya Kenyaankana way ka daran yihiin dadka kaleeto so meeshan ka hadlayna waxa weeye naf baan badbaadinaynaa naf ayaan badbaadinaynaa family ayaan badbaadinaynaa nin 5 caruur ah leh iyo xaas ayaan badbaadinaynaa caruurtiisii ay seexan kar laayihiin aniga markii aan 5 sano ka hor arkayay caruurtiisa meena seexan habeen iyo maalin way ooynayeen way sasayeen saqbarkii so dadka waxaan rabnaa inay dareemaan wuxuu going through takaleeto intaan community aniga lead gareynaya over 20 sano ka badan ciyaalkeena oo hooyal aabalaanta ah intooda badan waxay noqdaan gang iyo drugs iyo caruurtooda mataqaana gabdhahooda waa la traffic gareeya oo boqolkiiba 80 ana ku dhahaya ma dhameeyaan in high schoolka oo waxay noqdaan jaamacadda high schoolka dhaxbarta ka daadeen jaamacadda ka dagaalanayaan so gangs iyo wax walba ay galayaan so waxa kaliyata protect gareyn kara qof muslina oo imaam oo dugsi quraanka cid walba wax barayay oo haysta waa in dadku ay dareemaan waxa dhici doona consequenceska dadkan mataqaana cavalier-ka wax iska soo qoraya waxa badbaadinaynaa family iyo dad qoysdan reerkooda waxa dhana haddii la boodgareynayo hooyada wax dhahday xaaskiisa wax dhahday haddii isaga la iqaaxaynaya annagoo dhan hana la wada celiyo that is waxaan ka hadlayno dad traumatized garaysan oo meesha ugu dambaysa ay marayso so levelkaan ka hadlayno conversationkeena waa inuu ahaado mid waxa weeye urgent ah oo u baahan wax kasta oo aan samayn karno ku caawin karno walaalkeenna ku caawin ninkan 10 sano ayuu ku jira roller coaster bini'aadanimada ma aha waxan inaan dayarsana ma inaan dayarsanana ma aha waxan marka raaliga ahaada comment kana aadiga
aad baa mahadsantahay imaam
inta waad ku gudbin off camera soma waxan off recording camera okay good what I'm saying is like you should have the guys who share with sidee like a family may wada qaadayaan oo wadanka may ka wada dibord gareynayaan mise kaligiisa ka xaynaya haddii kaligiisa ka xaynaya kuwan maxaa u haray where they have a life guys
وصح
yeah am ha wada kaxeeyeen oo wadanka ka wada saar am ha wada daayeen wax ka dhaxayn kara ma jiraan
maya inay wada kaxeeyaanba ma rabna anaga inay wada daayaan baan ka shaqaynaynaa hadduu ilaahay yidhaahdo marka imaam axmed ku soo dhawo yuusufna adaan ku siinaya kelmadda ugu dambaysa soo dhawo imaam
ما شاء الله هدر ودعيني وسي دعينا دي لا هدمو حكر جينا يعني ما قرأتي إنه كيس يسبدلوا بس محاقر الشيء إنه حتى ما قرأتي إنه أطوى جينا وإنه أطوى هذا إنه حاجة ما قرأتي كده أرنتيسي
أنا أنت هذا كمان هلا إنه وحن كليو روائنا كهذا إنه لبعض صدق حان معي موت وحي تلمام يو وحي محلي هذا direction أما ama habkii loo jahayn lahaa labadan saddexdan maalmood yaan ugu imaanaa yaan soo raadinaa masjidka ma la imaan karaa adiga ma lagu soo raadin karaa yaa laga qaataa talo iyo tilaabo
والله
you can do it in English it's okay
يعني ولي إيمان كرا ما مسجد كان واجه قاعد ولي إيمان كرا يعني حتى يوسف ولقيه لي كرا مسجد كان
صح
ضدها حتى انه نوع إيمانا ونصوب وقدن وما قدرتي وربي إني بتشن كصحيحان فواتو سنة قاب كسيل وصحيحي يجوا حقا كران يجوا حسابين كران إن شاء الله هدر يعني بحكور سجنا like I said before يعني أربعة أكور سجنا ما قدرت إني صهد لان حلدماني عشان مركز صهد لان كده مركز أقوان أذك قادم تونا دي لحد ما.
إن شاء الله إن شاء الله يوسف سؤال ولا.
والله ده وأنه هاي قولي أنا حالة ده إذا مرة والبن وإقرب تاجنتين دتك تلبحين هذا أنا تلو إقرب حسن تاي وحن إذا كنت ذكر مجلته وحي تلا دتك وما أقبلها هاي. مركا إلهي هنو قولي وحي أنت من كرنودن وحبا لما حرينا وددالينا إذا كان وددالي سما وجدا وحن حتى أن أرورنا إنه وحق يوجد السيد أنا وحل إيو قبل لها وندري مايا بدن هو إقرب تاجنيدين هذا هو إقرب تاجنتين مركا وحي توفيق الله نوافج إلهي بان تلا صارمينا وحد يقول وأنا أنت ما مكرم جرته
صح 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 دمان آديات بأمها سنتين محل يرادا أرنتان أرن سهلا معها غير لك رفوقي غير لك الطوري ومدى الصوماليين انت بدن قحوتي والله صومري انت دبها تشوفت كل قحوتي والله صومري سوء با ودمada loo soo galay marka dadka qurbaha jooga way dareemi karaan culayska saaran way dareemi karaan qof waraaqii buuxiyay oo tilaabada ugu dambeysay maraya oo la yiri bal u kaadi waan ku direynaa sababna aan la siin culayskaas kulli waa la dareemi karaa marka ducana waa loo baahan yahay imaamna waan haysanaa marka duca la'aan barnaamijku ma xirayno marka imaam soo dhawow inoo duceey insha allah wixii talaabo iyo tilmaanna masaajidkaadan isku soo aadinaynaa petitionka haddii la eegana number waa la helayaa oo laga soo waco la raadiyo marka dhinac walba waa loo heli karaa if I can just finish with English many of the communities in Canada are predominantly all immigrants in one form or fashion. In the last 20-some years, there have been many families that have gone abroad as refugees. So those refugee families know the challenges and the pain of going through the whole refugee process, filling out the papers, and then not even hearing that your case has been rejected or accepted. Before even hearing that answer, you're told you're being deported for a reason that you had disproved prior. And this is a very, very painful situation, and we wish all the best for Yussuf and his family. I would like to welcome Imam Ahmed to make dua for Yussuf and his family, and really this process that it be a fair and just process. Imam, welcome. Soru.
ما شاء الله إلهي أوفض اللهم يسر أمورهم نسأل الله العظيم رب العرش العظيم أن ييسر لأخينا وأسرته ونسأل الله العظيم رب العرش العظيم أن يغفر لنا ويرحمنا وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.
ما شاء الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.